Welcome to another Conversations with Calvin, We the Species. And this is a special night, a very special night for me because I'm going to be spending time with Danny Coleman, who's been a mentor and an inspiration and a musician and a journalist and a radio show host. And he's been so many different things to me. And I'm just going to introduce Danny. We've been friends for 9-10 years. It's been great. So, Danny Coleman, welcome.
I am thrilled to be here, Cal. Thank you. I am honored to be here.
Well,
let me tell you that. Let me just put that out there right now.
Well, you're very special in my life, and there isn't enough time for us to even go over that. So, quickly, a little biography of Danny Coleman.
Well, I've been a musician, first and foremost. I've been a musician since I was 11 and a half years old. I'm a drummer, and I'm a Latin percussion player, congos, bongos, and congas, bongos, weapons of mass percussion. I've got all sorts of things, from triangles to shakers to maracas to wood blocks, temple blocks. I have always had a love of radio. I currently I'm the host of 3 different radio programs, and I'm an entertainment journalist. I've written for the Trentonian newspaper, and I currently am property of New Jersey Stage.
Wonderful. Real fast, how can people get in touch with you?
They can find me at my website, dcror.com, and that's the quick link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
Okay. So, first thing on my mind is how did this wonderful, amazing radio career begin?
Well, I graduated high school all the way back in 1981. So for those of you at home can do the math. I'm 57 years old, just turned 57 in June.
Like Heinz ketchup.
And that's it, number 57.
There you go.
And what had happened was I took a year off because I didn't get into the college that I really wanted to go to. And I began working for the Wall Street Journal, Dow Jones and Company. And while there, I still continued to play the drums in various bands around the area. And I thought, I really still want to do something different. And I was very interested in radio. So I went to broadcasting school in Trenton that was run by 2 gentlemen named Bill Allen and Phil Singer. And they had this school. It was a 6-month program, actually. And they gave you the basics of radio and television broadcasting, editing, using the old tape and a razor blade to edit various things. There were clocks, not digital, but the kind with the second hand, and 8-track carts to play various commercials. And at the end, you produced a demo tape, which I shopped around immediately once I got out of broadcasting school. I got an FCC license and a certificate of completion. Mm-hmm. And then I started looking for jobs, and I realized I can't make the money I'm making at Dow Jones. So I kind of put it to the side. And then in 2009, I had been working as a United Parcel Service driver for 20 years and woke up one morning and I had 4 herniated discs and blood in my spine and couldn't be a UPS driver anymore. And on the advice of an attorney of mine, he said, you know what? Time to reinvent yourself. So I went back to radio.
Wow.
And I saw an ad on Craigslist, radio show host / ideas wanted. I made the call. I arranged a meeting. I went down and I made the pitch for Rock on Radio. And the station that you were at down there deep in the woods of Burlington County.
Oh, yeah.
WIFI 1460 AM is where Rock on Radio was born.
Let's talk a little bit about Rock on Radio. Last year, I went to the 10th birthday bash for Rock on Radio. You're in your 11th year. Talk a little bit about that, because you, more than anyone I've ever met, have been such a supportive force for independent musicians. That is you. So talk a little bit about Rock on Radio.
I wasn't even going to have a 10th anniversary bash. If it wasn't for my producer, Claire Henwood, and my engineer, Art Ackerman, Art said, you got to have a party. It's been 10 years. You got to have it. Where am I now? Who's going to? I was afraid nobody would show up. And I'm thinking, does anybody even really listen? You know, because I was on internet radio. You don't know what the listenership is really, or for how long they listen. But they convinced me to have the party, and I put together the music, and Claire pretty much handled everything else. The cake and the room and the Asbury Hotel, they were fabulous.
Fabulous.
They were fantastic. And I could not believe, first off, the amount of people who showed up. And secondly, I could not believe the amount of love in that room. There were several times throughout the night, and your speech being one of them, where my eyes welled up. I know. My daughter surprised me and showed up, and it was very touching. I'm still, believe it or not, and it's the honest to goodness truth, I'm still riding the high from that. It has kept me going. It was a great night for me just to be there. I wanted, because we always have time constraints here. I want to just say a few words about the whole notion of internet radio being real radio, the battle. Well, there's always there's a perception out there. Okay. When I wrote for the Trentonian, everybody wanted to contact me because they could see their name in print. As soon as I stopped writing for the Trentonian, my phone lines kind of went silent. Even though I had already been publishing that same column that went in the paper on New Jersey Stage, with many thanks to Gary Ween, and he had literally double the readers that the Trentonian's site had. Wow. Yet, and it's the same thing with internet radio. I've been told I was illegitimate. I've been told that it's not real. Every major FM terrestrial and AM station broadcasts over the internet as well. They simulcast their terrestrial portion online. Yet, the perception of internet radio isn't always well received. And I've been a champion to say, hey, look, this is real radio. People, we're broadcasting. We're going all over the globe. And it's just a struggle to try to get people to accept it because they can't find it on their car dial. Right. They can't push. Right. So it's a struggle. And you are a champion of that cause. I have tried, yes. You really have tried, a true champion. By the way, speaking of causes, any charitable causes that mean something to you? And well, I was heavily involved with the Epilepsy Foundation of New Jersey. I emceed several benefits for them at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. I got to jam with Gary Hoey at the end of one, fantastic guitar player. At the end of the night, I worked with Eric Miller with his candlelight concerts for epilepsy. I went to one with you way back. Oh, one of the house concerts. Yes. And, Carsey Blanton, right? Carsey Blanton, yes. Mm-hmm. God, do I remember? Yeah. Oh, and as a musician, getting to jam with Gary Hoey at the one, and then another one was a tribute to Sam Cooke. The place was sold out, and there was no standing room left even. And I shared a stage with two of the members of Living Color, with a guitar player from Live at Daryl's House, Paul Pesco, Gary U.S. Bond, Sarah Dash from Patti LaBelle's band, Carsey Blanton, Danelia Cotton. It was just a star-studded evening. I actually felt like a rock star. Woo, can you imagine that? Guess what, Danny Coleman? Yes, sir. We're down to our last 15, 20 seconds. The good news about all this, conversations with Calvin at Gmail. People should just let me know, and you and I'll come back here and finish this because we have a lot more to talk about. But this has been great, and I thank you so much, Danny Coleman.